guys, welcome back to my channel. So first off, I'm just going to my foundation as usual. I'm going in with the shade Light Neutral, I think it is. I think it's like Light 42 in this Kat Von D foundation. And I'm not going to lie, it's not my favourite, but it's like the lightest foundation that I have at the moment. So I'm just applying this because I am going for a nice clown look here. So I did want my base to be as light as possible. Blending this in with a Peaches buffing brush. Not particularly sure what number this one is, but I'll leave all the stuff linked in the description for you guys. Now I'm just going in with this white powder from Revolution. It's like from their Halloween collection last year, and I'm just putting this all over my face just to kind of set that foundation. Now I'm just going in with my Mitchell palette, and I'm going in with the first shade Milkshake, which is like a really nice light pink. And I'm also going in to the second half of my eye with the shade Morgan, which is like a more deeper purple. Use any shades for these, by the way. You do not have to use the Mitchell palette if you don't own it. Just any sort of pink and purple, like a kind of cut crease kind of style. I'm leaving the rest of the lid pretty simple and plain. I'm not putting any bold colours there. I'm just going in with an iridescent colour from the Mitchell palette again, and that shade is Muffin. So I'm just blending that pink into the purple, and I'm just kind of winging it out a little bit. I'm not being particularly neat with this, guys, because it doesn't have to be neat. You could also change up the colours if you want, if you don't want to use these colours, but this is just the kind of style I was going with. Now I'm just going in with the Revolution Renaissance liner in the shade Black, and I'm just basically doing some basic black liner here. I'm just going in with some Snazaroo black face paint and a Peaches detail brush. I will leave all the stuff linked in the description for you guys so you can check that out, so you can see exactly what I used. But yeah, I'm just doing this like sparse kind of detail. Go over this a couple of times just to kind of tidy it up a little bit. I wasn't 100% sure with it at the beginning, so I did play around with like the shape, and both sides weren't exactly the same, but I wasn't too bothered, to be fair. Anyway, I'm just filling this in with some black Snazaroo face paint, and I'm just kind of tidying up areas and stuff and trying to make it look a little bit better. It was pretty hard to get this even for myself, so I did have to kind of keep changing it up and making it thicker and thinner at different sides. I've definitely seen this look done quite a few times with like the circus clown sort of theme, and I really liked it, so I wanted to give this a bash. but I was definitely feeling like the black was a bit overpowering. So as you do see, as we go through with this tutorial, I do start to add a little bit of colour just to jazz it up a little bit. But I'm just basically doing the little triangles that you normally see, and again I was just adding some black face paint. Honestly, like if you do try and recreate this, you can change this up as much as you want. This is just the kind of basic sort of clown that I've went with. It's pretty simple to do as well. So I'm just adding some colour here, and I do the same on the other side. Just adding some blue from the Mitchell palette, but again guys, you can use any blue, any colourful palette that you've got will do for this look. And I just end up adding a few different colours on the bottom half of the eyes, just to kind of jazz it up a little bit and make it look a little bit more funky. Just going in with a little nose here as well. I'm just doing that fully black, and then I do eventually go around that with some red. And I'm changing up the traditional sort of red lip that clowns normally have, and I'm going in with like a deep purple shade. This was, I think it's like Jewel or something it's called. Can't actually quite remember, but I'll put the actual one in the description box for you guys, but I know it's a Revolution one. So I've just used purple this time, and I'm just kind of doing that clown smile that's quite freaky. Here I'm just adding the little dots at the top of the triangles, and I'm just putting in some extra blusher here just to really brighten up the cheeks to give it that sort of rosy red blusher cheek sort of style. Now I'm just adding some lashes. I think these are my lashes in the style Inspire. I wanted to go in with some gems just because they were close by from my recent looks, and I just wanted to bedazzle it a little bit. Just go around any sort of black shade with like the original colour that you would see on like a clown. So this is why I'm doing like this radiation of colour around all the black. Just going with one of the Lottie London, I think it's one of the foil shades, and I am adding some like highlights and stuff just to give it that extra bit of dimension. And I thought this looked really funky, so I started adding this to like the black bits as well, so they weren't as flat looking. I think it's like the bluey purple foil. I will link all the correct stuff in the description for you though. And I think that's basically it for this look. This one was pretty simple and pretty basic, to be fair. Threw my hair up in two little bunches and just kind of rolled with it really. I just wanted this to be quite fun, funky, but kind of creepy at the same time. I know a lot of people don't like clowns, so yeah. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one.